Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. In today's video we are going to cover the pairing of our GBB. Now this is a very long pairing that we have cut right down to about 10 minutes worth of video. Now they are laboriously slow, to say the least. Very slow. But try and stick with the video. It is only 10 minutes long and we've cut it down to the best bits, but some of the most important stuff is just how subtle the GBB is in its courtship. It has an incredibly long courtship compared to the other spiders. And this has been documented before. Many people have said how laboriously slow they are. And the majority of people leave them for days on end, cohabit them and let them get on with it like that. Now we've always done ours where we've introduced our male until she gets a bit fed up, and then we take him out and then we go back and we start again. And I've often wondered whether this was detrimental to the actual pairing or whether we should just leave him in there. But I'm always a bit worried about losing our males, and we've got a really good success rate with our males with the GBB. 9 times out of 10 he survives, which is unusual when you compare it to other pairings that other people have had. They quite often, 9 times out of 10, they lose their males. So we sort of have success in that respect. Now, yes, watch the video. You'll see the subtleties involved, and there is a point there where you'll see the insemination, and it's quite violent, and you'll see it in normal times, and then directly afterwards we've done it in slow-mo as well, and you get to see how it all unravels in slow motion. Now when you watch it the first time round in normal time, it actually looks like the female is attacking the male. That's what it looks like. But when you watch it in slow-mo, you'll see it's a different thing altogether. She's not actually being aggressive. You'll see them literally flare up, and then he manages to literally sort of like do a almost like a somersault, and they end up twisting in the air, and he gets away, and then as he goes away she follows him, and then as he comes back down you'll see her go back into almost like a threat pose, and then you see it all change. But at no point do you see any real full-on aggression from Eve the spider. They are literally just trying to escape one another, which is really interesting, and we've not noticed this before. It's only because we slowed it right down that we actually get to see the true account of what is going on. So it's very deceiving in normal light, in normal times, normal speed. So anyway, yes, watch the video, see what you think. Try and watch it all the way through. Don't fast forward and cheat. Try and do it all the way through. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Well, here we have our male GBB. You can clearly see the hooks on his front legs there. These spiders are really pretty spiders. And males and females are identical in colour. What gives them away is the male's hooks on the front legs, and obviously the emboli on the pedipalps. This is our female. Now she is slightly chunkier than him, of similar size. Look at that beautiful green carapace. The green bottle blue. You can see where they get their name. Beautiful blue legs. And that lovely sort of orangey, reddy, russety abdomen. Now these guys are said to like an arid type of environment. They come from Venezuela. Now Venezuela is in fact a subtropical area, so we're wondering whether they would actually appreciate a little bit more in the way of humidity. There you go. Now she's drumming away there. She's signalling to our male Now the courtship for these guys is very, very long. And what we have here is a 10-minute video with just a few of the highlights to show this pairing. And overall, we probably had somewhere in the region of 10 or 11 hours of footage of these guys before they finally got it together and we had a successful insemination. Now our male has moved up to the top of the glass. It takes the males of this species an awful long time to actually settle down and start doing something. They're really quite lacking confidence, and it doesn't take much for them to spook. You can see why these guys are so popular within the hobby. Now I would class the GBB as a pretty good beginner spider. They're very, very pretty. They're showy as well. They're always out on display. Get a nice shot of the underside of the male there. And they're not particularly aggressive either. So they're quite a steady spider. Now we've actually got them back down together again. You can see the male on the left and the female on the right. Now this sort of behaviour, you can see it's very, very subtle. See the male reaching out there with the front legs, and the female's doing that very light tapping. You see how she's slowly moving in, he's backing off. But they're communicating all the time, they're tapping all the time. Now we watched this type of behaviour going on for about 7 hours or so. It's backwards and forwards in. You see the taps from the female there, very, very subtle. You can see the way the male's back legs are positioned. He is ready to take off in the slightest instance. Whereas if you look at the back legs of the female, you can see by her stance, she is ready just to move forward. Very interesting how they position their legs depending on which way they want to go. Again, you see a very subtle movements from the female there. Now, many keepers of GBBs, when they're trying to breed their spiders, because of how slow these guys are, the courtship is very extensive. Many people will actually leave them cohabiting within the enclosure. Now, quite often this leads to the male being eaten. So we try here to get the courtship done, and as soon as we see that there's a little bit of aggression from our female, she's had enough, then we remove him. You see the way the male used his front legs to scoop up her legs there? You can see he's reaching through now with his pedipalps, but she's backing off. She's not giving him the opportunity to insert. Here we go, we're back to the tapping. Our male backing off, female moving forward. See, the male is trying to get the tempo up a little bit there. Now again there you can see our female is keeping this subtle communication going at all times. And like I said, this kind of behaviour has been going on and on for hours. And when I actually put these guys together, I think it was around about midday, and it was gone 11 when we finally packed up. So it was a very, very, very long courtship. Now we appear to come to some sort of stalemate now. And things have just settled down, and neither of them are really doing much at all. So we are literally just waiting. There she goes. You see how the female now has lifted her body slightly. Here we go. Again, the female seems to initiate most of what goes on. She is definitely in control of the situation. Now we flick forward here because that particular behaviour that we've just been witnessing, that carried on for well over an hour. Just backwards and forwards in. And we're back to doing it again now. You can go, the female's getting a little bit more pushy there. She's starting to drum. Now she's got the male drumming. And look at that, his front feet. Look at the way he actually scoops her legs up. Now he's reaching in. Now we have insemination now. He's got insemination there. Oh, there we go. Now that one we would class as a successful insemination. Now we're going to watch it in slow motion, because it looked like our female was going to kill our male then. But watch it in slow motion. There you go. She's pushing. He manages to flip over the top of her, and he is away. He's climbing the glass. He's bouncing around all over the place. You can see she's almost chasing him. But when he lands back on the floor, you can see there was no aggression from her. Now he's done. He's gone. He's up there at the top of the tank. And our female now is she's looking a little bewildered. But that looked to be a very successful insemination. It took an awful long time to get there. Yes, and our male now is cleaning his emboli, which is always a good sign. Now he's literally just sitting on the top of the tank, just above where the female is, and we've seen no aggression between the two of them once they're actually apart. So he lives to see another day. Fingers crossed, we get a successful sack. Beautiful spiders. Well, welcome back. I hope you stuck with it and you watched the whole thing. And you would have seen what I was saying around about the slow motion. You see the difference, the way that unfolds. You see there is no real aggression there. It's not like you would first imagine. You really think that they're having a real go at each other, but they're not. They're more in tune with trying to escape from one another. There's plenty of times there where either one of them could have grabbed the other one and they didn't. So it's very, very interesting. So now what we're going to do is we are going to have, fingers crossed, and hopefully these beautiful spiders will produce an egg sac. That's the plan. So until then, we are just going to have to sit and wait and hope for the best. I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. I'll see you soon, guys.